C++. It returns a type info object, which is defined in the type info header. Let's take a look at how this works. Make a working copy of typeid.cpp and paste it into our working project and open it up in the editor here. I'm going to just maximize this so you can see the whole thing. And you'll notice I've also included the type info header. It's really only needed if you're using the members of the object that typeid returns. But we're going to do that here, so we'll take a look at that. You notice I've got a couple of structs defined. They don't have anything in them, but they're still considered types. And here I'm testing to see if the type of the variable A1, which is a struct A, is the same as the type of the struct A itself. And so I should get either same or different in the result. Let's go ahead and save this and run it. You notice I get a few little warnings here for the variables I'm not using, and that's fine. And you see it says same. So the type ID of A1, which is this variable here, is the same as the type ID of the structure. So this is really useful for finding out what type something is, if it's this type or if it's that type. So if I check to see if it's type of struct B, I can run that and you see it is different. I can check to see if it's the same type as A2, which it is. So we'll save that and run it. We see that it's the same, and I can check it against one of the B's. I'll check it against B2, save that and run it, and we see that that one is different. So this is very useful and really easy to do. So if I really need to find out what type something is, now I know how to do it. There's one other use for this, and I find it much less useful, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So I'm using the name function member of the object that is returned by typeid, and this is just a nice shortcut for doing that without creating an extraneous variable. And so I'll save that and run it, and you see that it says 1A. Now, my variable is called A1, and its type is struct A. And so, interestingly, this says that the type name is 1A. So internally somewhere in the compiler, that's the way it's keeping track of it. Different implementations will print out different things for this. So I find it less than entirely useful. If I take the type of, say, an int, save that and run it, you'll see I get a letter I. And if I say take the type ID of struct B, save that, and if you get this launch working, you can always just press always run in the background if you like. I'm just going to click the run in the background button. And I get 1B, so that's kind of what I would expect. Let's take one more. Let's say the type ID of the string object, rather the string class. And save that and run it, and I see a capital S and a lowercase s. And so we see that what we get out of here, that's not going to be consistent across implementations. And really, we can find out whatever we need to find out by comparing it to the types that we think something might be. So the typeid operator is only available in C++. It is not available in C. It returns a type info object, and you can use the name function member of that if you like. And that is defined in the type info header. So now let's delete our working file and run clean.